Hey everyone, how are you doing today? I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. Today is going to be a mostly full face of Essence, especially featuring this cute little palette right here, the I Like to Mauve It palette from Essence. I don't have a complete full face of Essence, but I do have a lot of their products, so I'm excited to do this video today. Before I get started, I have to mention the tea of the day. It is very different. So today's tea of the day is from this brand called Rocky Mountain Serenity, and this is their Maroon Bells Lady Grey. I thought that was such an interesting name, but this brand is based out of Estes Park, Colorado, which I was really cool to see that. That's this very touristy little town way up in the mountains by Rocky Mountain National Park. I have been there years ago, and so it's just kind of cool to see that. This is a sample I got in my Sips by box. But this particular type of tea, besides black tea and green tea, it has jasmine petals, lavender, and rose in it. And again, I don't think I'm a fan of the rose. I like all the different notes of flowers like lavender and jasmine, but not the rose. I feel like the rose kind of ruins it for me, but it doesn't ruin it enough to where I can't drink it. I can still appreciate that it is very, very delicious. This is something fun to try. And I did put a splash of milk in this one. You guys can probably see. Yeah, a splash of milk in this one, and I really like it that way. So I do have a little bit of lip balm on. I'm wearing my SPF, and I think to start, instead of going in with the base first, I want to start with the eyes in case I need to clean anything up with concealer or whatever. I have done just one look already with this little palette. I'll put it up on screen, and it ended up turning way smokier than I intended. Like, I had to put this little topper from Kaja on top of it to try and brighten it up a little bit. What happened was I went in with this darker shimmer here, which is much deeper than I expected, and it kind of took over the whole look. I didn't quite expect that to happen. So today I'm going to try and keep it light and bright. We'll see if I can do that. Oh man, I haven't even picked out my brushes yet. That's always a process. I think I mentioned in one of my last videos that I recently signed up for BoxyCharm and that I'm probably not going to continue with it for very long, but I did get I got this set of brushes from Tress Loose. Anyway, so I'm gonna try this one. This is the B101, and I am going to start over here in this shade that I feel like the only true mauve shade in the entire little palette. It's called the Mauve palette, but it's very purple. So I'm gonna take that transition shade. Oh wait, no, I forgot eye primer. I'm going to use the one from Urban Decay. I have a little sample, if that gives you any indication as to some progress in my project pan. Yes, that is a major hint that I finished something I have been working on for a very long time. There, I'm not going to go any deeper than that. Again, trying not to go smoky today. And I do just want to try using a brush. Usually I use my finger. I'm going to try it with a brush first. I'm going to use this purple shimmer shade over here, and I'm going to focus that more on the outer part of my lid. And oh my, I'm just very messy today, I'm noticing. I'm glad I started with my eyes first. Not the eyeshadow formula that's falling out all over the place. It's me just being very messy with my brushes. Okay, it's not doing a whole lot. You can kind of see it, I guess. I'm going to try and intensify it using my finger. Now this shade is interesting. It's like a dark lilac tone. I'm just gonna go with my finger again, but into this lighter lilac shade. I don't know about you guys, but I was stoked when I saw that Essence came out with these palettes. And I, for the longest time, was just kind of frozen with indecision. I didn't know which palette to get. And I'm still drawn to most of them. I think the only one I didn't want was the blue one, but even that one I felt like was a more wearable blue. And so far, the reviews I have seen for these have been positive for the most part. Okay, I'm actually going to go back in with that same brush I used for this transition shade, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of this lighter shade and just kind of blend things out a little bit. Yeah, I feel like it went okay with the brush for the shimmers, but I do prefer, as per usual, just using my finger. I feel like it got a much more impactful look. And since these shimmers are more of a thin, buildable shimmer type formula, I feel like it would take quite a bit of time with the brush to try and build it up too much. But I do like how the formula feels in the pan. It's not gritty. You guys all know what I mean. I really dislike gritty eyeshadows. They lay down on the eye nice and smooth, which is one of the things I've started to look for in a eyeshadow formula now. Textured eyeshadows I do enjoy on occasion, but I'm really drawn to the more smooth type shadows. I feel like it's looking actually kind of smokier on camera than it looks for me here in real life. So while they are like a more thin, buildable formula, they don't lack pigment. Like you guys can see, I feel like I got kind of smoky here pretty quickly, and I avoided using the deepest shade. Yeah, I'm glad I started with my eyes first. I do have some correcting I would like to make, but okay, let's move away from the eyeshadow for now, and let's do base. Like I said, I am going to use just my sunscreen as my primer today. I'm using the Unseen sunscreen from Supergoop. I like that one because it's a little more matte and it's not so shiny. And for base, I'm going to go in with the Essence Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation. It has hyaluron, interesting, okay, and aloe vera. I have the shade number 40, Neutral Vanilla. If you're looking on Ulta and you don't see a shade that would work for you, actually check out Essence's website. They have many more shades of these on the website. And I very much enjoy this foundation. It has buildable coverage. I describe it as like a medium coverage. Very like satin skin-like. Like I don't feel it isolates a lot like one demographic over another in terms of how people like to wear their makeup just because it's right down the middle of the road, you know? It is a little bit scented, nothing too bad. I do like to work it into my nose with my finger first. That's the one spot it tends to sit funny. Then I'll go in and do the rest. Wears really well too. Like I noticed that it just wears very well throughout the day. I'm not one to really touch up my makeup at all during the day. I just kind of notice at the end of the day when I go to wash my makeup off how everything's looking. And this one always wears well. And it hasn't caused me any issues with making me break out, which is one of the #1 things I look for in a foundation. Pause for a tea break. Just adding a little bit more in the center of my face. I find for some reason that I am very attached to Essence. Like, I don't know exactly why. I feel like it was one of the first brands I kind of explored a lot of their products just because they were so inexpensive. Do you guys have a brand that you feel that way about, where it was one of the first brands that you tried a lot of things from, that you really liked a lot of things from, and so you just feel like a super nostalgic connection to the brand? I don't have a concealer from Essence, so I'm just gonna use the Maybelline Fit Me. This one is too light for me, but I'm still using it. This is the shade 5. Look how light it is. Cleaning up the mess I made there with the eyeshadow. I haven't really reviewed this Maybelline Fit Me Concealer on my channel like much at all, just because I haven't used it a whole lot. Once I got a hold of the Glossier Stretch, that's the one I've been wanting to use all the time, but I like this concealer. It melts really nicely into my skin. Again, it's just very light for me. I need a different shade. Okay, I'm just gonna powder under my eyes a little bit, and then I will run a little eyeshadow under there. I do tend to use different powders for my under eyes than my whole face. This is my under eye powder. It's the one from number 7, the Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Finishing Powder. I have the shade Light, and it's not like it's a super expensive powder, like I need to hoard it, but for some reason I do. I just use this on my under eyes. Just gonna make sure I don't have any creases. Tap them out before set it under there. Okay, back to my little Essence palette. Let's use the Mauve shade and run that under my lash line just a little bit. I don't want anything too crazy, but just a little. This Mauve shade, I know I have said it before in regards to other palettes, but these types of shades sell me on palettes. It might be the reason I bought this one. I think it's just a really good shade for my skin tone for contouring the eye. And even as just like a single eyeshadow look, it's one of those shades that I feel just looks really nice. There, that's all I want. Just a little bit under the eye. Then I'm gonna take this very tiny little brush and I'm gonna dip it into the deep purple, and I'm gonna use it as a little bit of liner. On the upper lashes, I'm just going to press it into the lash line. Since I forgot to tightline, I'll do this instead. It gives a really subtle effect just pushing it into the lashes like this, but I find I much prefer it. For one thing, I can actually do it. My skill levels at this point, I can do that. But trying to do like graphic eyeliner is very much troublesome, very troublesome for me. I don't know if you can tell a difference from here to there. I certainly can. I'm gonna quick do the other side. Okay, I feel, again, just like it turned out a lot smokier than I wanted. I feel like this, the lightest shade in the palette just isn't as bright as I'm wanting. I'm gonna try and just add a little bit more. If I can make it brighten up just a little bit. I must say that if you were looking for a cool toned purple palette and these kind of smoky purples are your thing, this is really nice. There's no hunky chunky glitter. Like I said, it all lays down nicely on the eye. There, I think it did help a little bit. Okay, mascara. I had to go back and repurchase. This is one of my favorite mascaras of all time from Essence. This is the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect. I feel like this is such a famous mascara. I have to introduce it like it is. Everyone, the one you know and love. False Lash Effect mascara. I like it because it does all the things. It lengthens, it builds, it separates, volumizes, it curls well for me. This is a relatively new tube, and I don't remember if I like it better a few months in or what. I've only, like I said, it's only been open for like a week or so. I rarely get smudging from this one. It has happened, and I'm not sure what the difference is on the occasions where it has happened to me. Usually though, I actually have more trouble getting it off than anything. It's so good, it's so black. Anybody else feel like they have lashes on one side that's better than the other side? I feel like my left eye is my good lash eye. Yeah, I love this mascara. I'm just gonna apply a little bit to the bottom lashes since I did put a little bit of shadow down there, but nothing too crazy. Oh, yes. Love this mascara. So happy it's back in my life. Okay, for eyebrows, I would use my Essence Make Me Brow, but I recently finished this, so it's completely gone. I'm gonna use the one from e.l.f. instead, in case anyone is like wanting to compare the brushes, the wands on these. So the one from Essence is this one, and over here we have the e.l.f. So the one from Essence is actually smaller, which is usually my preference. It all depends on, you know, what you're looking for. I'm not gonna do anything special with my brows other than just running this through today. All right, the face is starting to come alive a little bit. Let's talk about blush. So I have two Essence blushes I wanted to use today. I haven't decided which one yet. This one is discontinued. Essence does tend to do this thing where they'll repackage the same thing, but like rename it and perhaps come up with different shades. So this was their matte touch blush. Now I just have the blush. It's just a matter of picking which shade. I'm thinking this one goes a lot better with the lilac-y tones I have in my face today. This is the blush in the shade Befitting. Super, super pretty. I haven't set the rest of my face, but I feel like I don't need to. This Essence foundation doesn't stay sticky or wet or anything. It sets down very well. So I'm just gonna go right in with the blush. Yes. That is so pretty. I love it. One of the people I like to watch, Taylor Wynn, refers to this blush as being very similar to a MAC blush that she likes, which I haven't tried any powder MAC blushes, but I thought that was an interesting observation on her part. It is such a nice blush, and it's very, very inexpensive. Packaging often breaks. My matte touch one, this one, the lid, they break off so easily, and I've heard almost everyone who likes these blushes mention that about these, that the container almost always breaks. This blush is such a winner from the line for sure. Okay, now let's do lips. So I actually have a lot of these little Essence lip liners. Again, with them constantly discontinuing things and then bringing out a different version of the same thing. I have no idea if these little ones are still available. This is the Soft Contouring Lip Liner. This is the shade number 8, Big Proposal. I like them because they're pretty creamy. Not as creamy as the ColourPop ones, but they go on very, very easily. This is one of my oldest lip liners, and I have loved it for a long time. Anyone tried their new lip liner formulas? If you have, let me know. What do you think of them? Oh, I forgot to take off my lip balm. I'm applying this over lip balm. Then I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite glosses in my stash, the Essence Shine 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 glosses. They have these in many different finishes. This is the cream finish. This is the shade Happiness in a Bottle. It's like candy still. It has kind of a larger, plushier doe foot on it, which I love that in a gloss. It makes the experience just that much better. The gloss is very shiny and it's not sticky. Just love it. I don't know how I feel about that color with my eyes though. I'm going with it. Oh, I was just about to say I was done, but I realized I didn't do any highlight. I do want highlight. I don't have my Essence highlight. I gave that to a friend, the very popular one that people love so much, the Pure Nude highlighter. The undertone of it was too dark. Every time I wore it and turned my head, you could see like the stripe on my cheek. Wasn't cute. So I think I'm just gonna use my new ColourPop Lunch Money. Such a soft but pretty highlight. Okay, this is the finished look using mostly Essence products. I really enjoy Essence as a brand. Their products are usually very good quality and they're so affordable, like what's not to like? And their eyeshadows have been kind of hit and miss for me. I had one of their previous eyeshadow palettes, the Salute Paris palette. That one I depotted because I loved the mattes in it, but not the shimmers. So I saved all the mattes from that one. As far as this one goes, I like it. However, I do feel like all my looks turn out really smoky with this one. I have yet to figure out how to keep it a little bit more light and bright. I think it's just the color story of this one. I haven't even tried using the gray yet. That would really bring the smoke on. I mean, it's nicely pigmented. So yeah, it kind of goes well with my shirt. That would have been a fun one to try. No, I didn't want to make it too smoky today. But this is a great little 6-pan palette, you guys. It's only $3.99. I'm very tempted to get the other ones. I'm trying to hold myself back. I've been buying a lot of eyeshadow lately. Be on the lookout for an eyeshadow palette haul video. I think that will be my next video in which I talk about all the eyeshadow palettes I have been buying. So for that reason, I'm probably not going to pick up more of these, but I do think that this is actually kind of a unique little color story in my stash. I don't really have this at all. And I love the little dancing themes that they've been giving all of their little palettes. So fun. And of course, everything else I used, I know that I love it. I love it. I love it. Thanks you guys so much for hanging out with me today and just sitting back for this chill, get ready with me video. I hope that you guys, again, I hope you have a wonderful day. I have to hightail it to the post office. Anyway, we'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye.